Welcome to Trionic 7. Jonathan here with the 2002 Saab 95 Aero. This car recently passed 210,000 kilometers, which means it's time for the 210,000 kilometer service. And as part of this service, we'll be doing an oil change today. So changing the engine oil. So this is an 02 Saab 95. But this video is applicable to many engines in the Saab family. So all B204, B234, B205 and B235 engines have almost identical oil change routines. So if you have a Saab 95, Saab 93, Saab 900 and a Saab 9000, chances are that these instructions apply to your car. But be sure to check your owner's manual to see which engine you have. But if you have a 2.0 or 2.3 liter gasoline engine, these instructions probably apply. So this car takes about 4.2 liters of engine oil when changing. And this is a bottle of 5 liters of Mobil1 New Life OW40 engine oil, which is a good oil for this car. If you're on a budget and want cheaper oil, you can also get the GM Dexos2 oil, which is quite a cheap oil with pretty good performance. But I'm choosing a slightly better oil for this little beauty here. Also, when changing oil, we'll change the oil filter and the copper washer for the drain plug. And it's important that you have the right type of filter. So don't go and buy a cheap filter, because you need the real stuff. You probably know that the Saab 95 has had some issues with engine oil, such as oil sludge and all these related problems. So be sure to get the real oil filter. And this is a GM Long Life filter, part number 55560202. The marking on the box says made in Poland and part number 931865554. Okay, so what do you need to change your oil? Well, you need a 13mm socket. I recommend you using a socket wrench and not something else, because if your oil drain plug is stuck, you will need a 6-point wrench, like so, not a 12-point box wrench or anything. You also need to get under your car, and be sure to do this safely, first using a floor jack and then supporting the car with sturdy jack stands. So I don't want anyone to be stuck under a falling car. This can kill you. So be sure to jack up your car very safely. You also need an oil drain pan. This is a nice one because it drains inside and then I can carry it to the recycling station. You probably also need some protective goggles. I always recommend using these when you're working with your car. And some nice heavy-duty gloves that will protect your hands from hot engine oil. It is probably also a good idea to get a new oil drain plug. If you haven't changed your drain plug recently, well, it's a good thing to do, and it's very cheap and makes sure that your drain plug doesn't get stuck. And also, of course, use a new copper washer. These are extremely cheap. And if you reuse your old washer, you might have leaks, which is rather annoying. So a good recommendation is a new oil plug and a copper washer. So let's begin. With the car jacked up, I will open the hood. And then I'll just open the oil filler cap, just like this. And it means that the oil can run easily out from the engine. I take the drain pan, opening up the main hole. And then opening the ventilation hole. And now the oil can run freely into the pan and the air escapes here. So let's begin by finding the oil drain plug. And if you find the oil pan, you'll find the drain plug here at the rear. And the oil filter is located just in front here. Okay, I removed the oil plug and everything went normal except that the oil drain pan just didn't want to take any oil. So this little place up here overflowed and it didn't go into the drain pan itself. So I have a big mess of oil on the garage floor. Annoying. And it's never happened before. So I will reinstall the oil plug and then change the oil filter, and then I have to do some major cleaning of the floor. Just great. So what probably happened was that the drain plug got stuck in the hole in the drain pan. So the oil couldn't run through because it was plugged by a drain plug. Just great. Anyway, I got the drain plug out. I used some brake cleaner to clean it off, and I put the new copper washer on. So now it's time to go back and put the drain plug back in, and then I'll change the oil filter. Okay, so the oil plug is back in the sump, and I've cleaned up using some brake cleaner and a bit of paper. Be sure when you put the plug back that you don't cross-thread the threads. So start it by hand, and then use again a socket wrench to torque it down to the right spec. And do not tighten this too hard. This is just an aluminium sump and a steel plug. So the aluminium is obviously quite soft. Okay, so we're back under the car, and now I'll be removing the oil filter. Again, the catch pan is underneath. Hopefully we'll make less of a mess this time. And the hardest part is always to break it loose. But I did a good thing last time. I didn't pull the oil filter too hard, so I can just remove it very easily. Okay, make sure the pan is underneath. It's hard to tell when you're under the car. And slowly open it. You'll see some oil dripping out. In the pan. Let's do some more. Usually I'll just empty the filter as much as I can here before removing it. Slowly draining. The filter is draining, and you'll want to check that there is no gasket here left behind, no rubber gasket. And it's not the case. So I'll be putting the new filter back on. Before you do this, take some of the old oil on your finger and just put it on the gasket. Okay, the gasket has been oiled, and now I'll put the new filter on. Okay, good. You don't want to tighten the filter too much. Just hand tie it is good enough. Okay, now the oil has been drained and we replace the oil filter. Now we want to fill new oil. So remove the oil cap with the dipstick. Let's open our new bottle. And we'll fill up the oil. I'll start by filling 4 liters. And then I'll check the dipstick and fill it up to the normal level of the dipstick. And this is the day after. So I filled up the oil yesterday to the right level. Now I've been running the car for a while, driving it around. And now I'll check the oil again and top up a few deciliters to the correct level on the dipstick. So this ends the video. I hope you liked it, and be sure to leave a comment if you have any questions about changing your oil in a Saab. And hopefully you won't make such a big mess as I did. I probably did so because I tried to hold the camera with one hand and change the oil with the other. So there you have it. I'll see you in the next video.